Alright, what's going on? Okay, so last time I left off on the video, I took my general knowledge test and I passed it, which is great. What I ended up doing that day is I went back and I took my air brakes and I left my combinations test for the next day. So the reason why I'm kind of catching you in this history idea is because it's moving fast, and what I did is within the span of like 2 or 3 days I was able to take my air brakes, my combinations. Here's a little tidbit just in case you didn't know, because I didn't know until somebody told me, which is basically when you get a Class A, because it's higher than all the other licenses, you have to retest. They're shorter versions of the test, but you have to retest for like your Class C for a regular car. Me, I had a motorcycle, so I had to get the Class M done again. So over within that span of time, I did not only my trucking one, but I recertified my Class C and my Class M. And I was able to pass all those tests. So all of this is before today, because today is December 16, and I had my first class, my actual driving class, yesterday. And, so when it gets down to it, I just got done with my first driving test for the truck just a little while ago. Let me see where we leave off. So yeah, so I got all my recertifications, all that stuff done, and in time, I got my permit in time for my first driving lesson, and it was pretty cool. I'll go back to that in a minute. But for the most part, you got to re-up on all your prior licenses. And on top of all that, I talked to my trucking school, and she was saying something about getting the hazmat, because I had a question on like all these check boxes, you know, doubles and triples and trailers and hazmats and all that. I didn't know what to check, so I asked her, and she said basically that you don't need a hazmat right away, but most, you know, some companies may pay you more, or you might be a little bit more preferable. So on that note, I went ahead and I just said, why not, and get it. If it means more money, then let's just do it. So I went and I got my hazmat, I passed that, so my permit is now solidified. I'm good. Now all I got to do now is just pass the driving part, which I thought would not be as hard as it is, but it actually is. Now not only do you have to do the driving part, but there is the actual in-cab inspection, the out inspection, the air brake, you know, inspection, and not to mention just your maneuvers. So it's really a lot. It's becoming to be a lot. But how I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna purchase her DVD. I'm gonna purchase her DVD and then just memorize it. You know, memorize it, repeat, and I'm gonna get it. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get it. So, but that's pretty much it right now. As far as the class is pretty cool. I got a dude. His name is Moses. He's a pretty cool guy, and basically the school that I went to is called America Trucking School, and I got in pretty good. The amount ended up costing me was about $1,200, but then you got to think about, like, you know, your medical piece. Like I had to get the physical piece done, and that was $120. And then I signed up for the hazmat, which is another, you know, another 30 or 40. And then from there, you know, yeah. So it's becoming to be pretty costly, but still, I mean, $1,200, $1,300, even $1,500 is way better. The majority of these schools are costing like $5,000, you know, $3,500 to $5,000. So it's actually a lot. So I'm happy that I got a good deal. It just means I got to work a little bit harder, but it's doable. First day of trucking school was kind of cool. We've got these little beat up trucks, but they're pretty cool. I mean, you got to get the general idea anyways, right? What I did the first day was simply forward and backwards, learning how to work, you know, the clutch and everything. But if you know how to drive a manual, you'll be okay. But forward and backwards is all I did the whole hour and 30 minutes. And then the last part, like the last 20 or 30 minutes, where he was going over the air brake inspection from inside the cab. And he was saying that you got to get it flawless. You got to be able to, you know, pass it without any spot or wrinkle, because that's where most people will fail, and the DMV people will be fast to fail you. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. My second day, I went back to doing some forward and backwards, and then from there, I gave him my air brake inspection from inside the cab routine, and then from there, he had me on almost like a 90-degree turn, and that was a butt kicker, because man, the trailer is so sensitive, but you know, I'll get it. I mean, that was my first day. I spent maybe 10 minutes on how to do a 90-degree turn, so I'll get it, but it's just gonna take some time. That is all for today. I mean, that was within the span of, I want to say about a week or so, a week and a half maybe, of just getting signed up, to getting on my licensing, you know, permit test done, to the medical done, to traveling to Corona for 2 days already, for the trucking. So hopefully I'll keep making progress, and we'll get this thing done, and I'll be in an actual real truck driving and making money. So stay tuned, the journey continues. Peace.